A prophet went to war with a company by the name of Comit Capital. Comit Capital is one of these companies that offer people that know how to do investing or trading online, know how to do that. Companies like Comit Capital would be companies that people with the skill go to in order for them to obtain funding. Now, Comit Capital particularly does that. They are from South Africa. Now, Comit Capital is not the only one that does this. This is a website called Prop Firm Match, please. This is no way a promotion for any of these websites, okay? But if you were a person who had the trading skill, you can learn these skills on YouTube. You can go out there online and just search up how to do this. What is prop firm trading? Which companies? What? And then watch people who actually do it in South Africa. There is a guy in South Africa called Balo Trades. He asked his parents to allow him to go towards this thing. And then he was able to turn that into a career. Buy these accounts and that qualify them for a certain account access, and then they trade to try and make a career out of it. There's a girl by the name of Mahlodi. She is a girl who does that. She's also from South Africa. There's also Tabza. I think he's now funded. There is Manny. He had to change his strategy. He had to kind of like figure himself because this is incredibly difficult. There's also Mpokan Trade. These are young South Africans who are in this field, who do this, who document their journey. There's another person here in the crypto space, Vusi Designer, Yag FX. He is in university and he also does this. Sizwe Eli FX, Way Ups. He's from Nigeria. He's been on this journey. Now, Way Up's journey is very interesting. He started when he was staying in a shack. Now, lives pretty comfortably just doing that. No, just trading, okay? People that don't want, there's nothing to sell here. Way to FX from Swazi. Rick the Trader. There's also Zach. Casey, I don't think your page is set properly. You'll see when we go to other people's profiles, it shows videos. So when you get on your thingy, on your settings on YouTube, set homepage. It's Clifford Mrauzi. He is from Malawi. He's another young man by the name of Emmanuel Tivani. Emmanuel Tivani. It's a Tsongasa name, but I gave the bro an English tone. Emmanuel Tivani is another one. Emmanuel Tivani documented when he left his. I'm talking about people that don't sell. It doesn't sell nothing. It just shows you it is possible to do what we are talking about. So this topic we are talking about, it's a very big deal. You might not know about it. Hey, be informed. So you can go and check out Emmanuel. Emmanuel used to work when he started this thing. You can see, the boy is doing numbers. The boy is doing numbers. And he was able to quit his job and fully focus on this. Another person, McFinance. Okay, there's a young man again by the name of McFinance. He's a Christian fella. This is him right here. McFinance is at 19,000, and he shows how he also is doing this. Bear in mind, Emmanuel Tivani and McFinance, they just do this. They don't teach nothing. They just do what we are about to talk about. You know, it's a whole thing. It's a whole industry. I just wanted you to have a little bit of background, just so that you can go watch them and then you can see what this entire thing is about. His prophet by the name of Bonang, which is a very, I don't think, is that his name? I don't know, because the name that appears on the roll of the is that versus Comit Capital. And so anyways, which one is his name? Away from his ministry or doing ministry work and preaching, he claims he's a trader. I don't know. It's very important to understand that nowadays people can say they are traders and they are not. We don't know. You see right here, he's been posting about this stuff. So basically, with prop firms, I'll just explain a little bit as time goes. You pay a certain amount. You qualify to have access to a certain account. You trade that account. They give you a challenge. If you pass that account to show that you have the skill, it allows them to now fund that account with money that you can withdraw from. Okay, so a person can pay 2,000 rands and end up having access to about 100,000 to 200,000. So that's how these things would work. You pay maybe 10,000 rands, you'll have access maybe to about 2 million. Yeah, it's quite crazy. The numbers go crazy up there. So the profit doing what these guys are doing. You see what these guys, the guys that I showed you, they show you when they are doing it. So, okay. So basically, a person would go, basically, what the case that went to the High Court here. I want you to hear, for me, it's a little bit unnecessary, honestly speaking. He went to the website, okay? So this is the website right here. This is the Comit website. And so you scroll down, it tells you, for you to have access to, let's go to the rand accounts, 25,000, or let's just say the 1 million. 1 million account will cost about 4,000 rands. So if a person pays that, they have access to that. That's what they are claiming. No advertisement here. And so a person, you can see what is the most expensive account that Comit Capital has. 10,000 rands. Okay. Now bear in mind, it's better to do your own research pertaining this subject matter. I just want to make sure that people have an all-round. I don't want to cover half of the. And so on PropFirm Match, it allows you to be able to match them up and watch different firms. They went and fixed up their strategies and went to these companies. So this is what this whole thing is all about, so that you understand. Now, what exactly is the problem that the prophet is having with this particular company by the name of Comit Capital? According to the claim, he took them to court and he felt like this court case is kind of like taking up time. So he wanted this case to kind of move a little bit faster. So he took them to court because apparently they banned his account. Now, that thing that I mentioned in the beginning of the video, how much these accounts cost, I don't understand why even bother taking the amount that you pay for this account. It's not worth going to court for. Okay? So he took them to court and he was hoping that they would the court will fast track his case because I think his visa is about to expire. So he has to travel out. And he took this company to court because they kicked him off of the platform, and now he's having problem accessing. I don't know if it's a withdrawal or something like that. Okay, so if you go on Google, right, and you just search for that, as you see, as I've searched it there, like I said, his name online is Prophet Bonang, but his real name, you can see it up there. Taratata Comit Capital. You will have direct access to the court's document as you see it up there, updated about 7 days ago, because his visa is about to expire. Can they do this fast? Can we do things fast? Professor. Can we do this the way we do in the prophecy? I'm just joking. So he asked the court to do that. He took it all the way to the High Court, and the High Court said, no, sir, we do not have to do that. You haven't provided enough evidence of which substantiate why that's necessary. And basically, the court told him to go the normal route. This case is not urgent. So you can go through the lawyers and all of that. You don't need this case to dudula. Don't need to dudula this case too quickly. Now, this is where I think it's not necessary. That's what I think, because he is now liable. If you check here, the following order is made. Application is struck out of roll for lack of agency. So it's not agent with cost. I think that means he has to pay now the legal fees. So far, I think that they're still going to go, but so far, he has to pay the legal fees. Now, guys, this is why I say, I don't think this is even necessary. If I was him, I would pay this and then just leave it alone. Why? If you go to what it costs to pay for an account, like the highest account that they have here is 10,000 rands. it's 10,000. I don't know. What is the classic 4 million? It's 12,000. It's 12,000 rand. How much you going to pay in lawyer's fees? So what happens mostly is that these companies, they don't just give you these accounts. Minimum days, the requirement pertaining loss limits, and percentages that you need to achieve, 5%, 4%, what? And so based on these rules, these companies can create rules that make it difficult for people to get payouts or to even pass these accounts. So as a result, if you breach even one of these rules, one of the rules that can be there could be that you risk too much. Like you risk way more than what the company actually allows. And if you didn't read the rules, you'll be banned. And whatever account you thought you were still due, what was still due to you, they can simply say, no, we're cutting you out. So this is incredibly difficult to do, to stay within the rules. As a matter of fact, I've met people who are traders who have traded for a very long time who can't do this. Because most people trade with all kinds of risks. But when you are now restricted to say by these parameters, okay, because this is close to professional, you have to be close to professional in order to make it in this particular space, which is why when you see any of these people that I've mentioned here, you'll see them go through phases, failing, passing, passes, getting payouts, and all kinds of things. People who are even successful at it, still failing, because it's an incredibly difficult thing. But if you were to look at those fees of what it costs to get these accounts, like if you look on the side there, you see the amounts that have been reflected. Do you think this is worth paying lawyer fees over? Like if they banned you here, let's simply go get another account or go to a different account, go to a different firm. Going to court over this thing, it's absolutely unnecessary. Comit Capital went and got information on his traveling routes and whatnot, and they proved that there were days when he traveled and he went and he went. They're like, if a person can travel like this, he can afford to come if we have a case to attend. So basically, based on that, the court used what Comit Capital said to say, the court makes sense. What Comit Capital is saying makes sense. Alleging termination of a funded account. So basically, you go through phases in these accounts, and then you get a funded account. And a funded account is where you actually get payouts from. And so they banned his payout and a refusal of a payout. Like I said, it's much cheaper to just buy another account and pass than to go to court over this. It's absolutely wild. Someone went to court, a provovo at that. Now he has to pay the fees for In my view, this is absolutely unnecessary. Absolutely unnecessary. Now, he might maybe argue, say, maybe he was due a payout that is very big or something like that. Maybe he traded and made maybe 500,000, maybe. I don't know. Okay, maybe he might argue that to say he made a lot of money and whatnot. But if you made a lot of money and you were over risking, and you find in the clause of their rules, they have over risking as a rule for termination, you would stand no chance. Because remember, when you signed the agreement, you signed to the terms that those should have prophesied. I'm just joking. So, in my view, this court case, it's absolutely unnecessary. This one doesn't even need prophecy. This one doesn't even need prophecy. And so, for those that are out there doing financial market thingy, please be very careful. It can get very dicey out there. But I wouldn't deter someone from pursuing this stuff because, hey, some people have the know-how. Some people have what it would take for that. And so if you've never heard about prop firm trading, that's what it is. Go research it, do your due diligence, and know your limits. Okay? Don't cross the limits. By limits is if you say I'm willing to lose this, and you go over that board, please be aware it can be very scary out there. Losses can exceed. If you have a gambling mentality, don't do this. You gotta deal with that before you attempt anything like this. Okay? So just to be very clear here, because there are people that will take this as advice and they want to go out there and do, you will lose money. Okay? Be very careful. But I can tell you, the people that I mentioned, they show it's possible to build a strategy. For some people, it's just not profitable to do this publicly. Okay, for some people, their losses are because they have the pressure to perform before people. You just need to be locked in and really focus. For me, I don't think, and the traders that I am mentioning here, they might even tell you themselves, it is absolutely unnecessary to go to court, to even hire attorneys over to the high court to argue this. It's just better to buy another one. My laptop is dying. That's why you hear that. Can you respect yourself, please?